Hi, I'm Panda Hershey with Your Full Expression. Welcome to the October 4th Coffee and Charts, where we talk about how the rest of the year will be reminiscent of the work that we did from January to March of this year. You'll be working hard to get yourself to the next level, whatever that means to you. As you can see in the video, life is going to get more intense over the next 3 weeks as Mars, Mercury, and the Sun move closer together. So get ready. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, you guys, welcome to the new season, not even the new season, the second half of the year where halftime show is over and things are really going to start kicking off. Um, I, I'm not going to lie. There is a lot that is going to happen. And maybe in your own life, you're already feeling it, that things are just going to ramp up. You're going to have more things on your plate. And in many ways, it's going to be reminiscent of the first 3 months of the year, but it's going to be maybe deeper, broader. It's just going to be kind of the next logical step to whatever was going on for you. But now you've learned something. You've gained some tools, some knowledge, some wisdom that are going to enable you to do whatever it is that needs to get done. And so we're going to talk about how that starts ramping up over the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and here we go. So here we are on October 4th, and God, it's October already. And sort of where are we? Everything from the summer has wrapped up. We've got Venus here just finishing up the last few days of its entire portal that started in June. And it will finish on the 7th and finish through 28.5 degrees of Leo. So look also at Pluto here at 27 degrees, 54 minutes of Capricorn. This is the very bottom of the whole portal. So even though it hasn't started moving forward yet, it basically is stationary, and we can't tell any difference between that subtle shift, or at least not in our heads. Our bodies probably feel it in some way, but it's not showing up as something that we could nail down into something we could describe. And so basically over the next 2 weeks, we're going to start to feel this very like condensing feeling that everything is just going to have to start moving forward, and it will. And so because we're in football season, and I used to love to watch football with my dad, I'm just going to say it's almost like the point at which the announcers have come on and said, okay, we're getting ready. The teams are already out on the field. The football has been placed, and the guy is ready to go kick that ball. And that is where we are. So let's keep going, because the next thing that happens is on the 7th, Venus does finish. That's 3 days from now on Saturday. It completes its portal. And you get to look back, and maybe you're doing it already, to say, I love this. Whatever this is, whatever you grew into, I enjoy this. I'm good at it. And people have let me know this in some way, that, yeah, wow, this is great for you. And whatever that affirmation is, hold on to that, write it down, capture it in some way, because it's going to help you keep going. On the next day, October 8th, the sun here is opposite that Chiron portal. And Mars was opposite the Chiron portal not very long ago, and it was putting a lot of energy and heart into our relationships and then seeing kind of what was being reflected back to us. Now, as the sun moves through, it's less emotion filled and more mindful connection, and then noticing what is being reflected back to us. And I've been thinking about this a lot and wonder whether, in the calmness of that connection, we see that we're being recognized in a whole different way that is reflective of the growth that we've experienced over the last few months through the summer. And so I'm so curious to know what you guys find. But over the 5 days or so that the sun moves through this portal across from Chiron, we'll get some awareness of how we are seen in some way that we did not expect. On the 9th, Venus moves into Virgo and is across from that Saturn portal in Pisces, where we have been, cultivating this very small community, those people in our boat who get what we're going through. And with Venus in Virgo across from that, there is this perspective that we're getting of appreciation of the work that we've done. Maybe the people in our boat are saying, wow, what you've put your heart into and started to hone and refine is really going to pay off for all of us. And it's going to enable you to connect more effectively, better, broader, whatever that is going to look like for you in terms of having that perspective of who is in your boat. Maybe it enables you to let more people into the boat with you starting, in about a month. Or maybe you recognize, oh, I don't need those people in my boat anymore. But right now, you're getting that appreciation of all the work you've done. On the 10th, so in less than a week, Pluto stations direct at 27 degrees, 54 minutes of Capricorn. And this is kickoff. This is the point at which it will take a week or a little more to feel it, but it will start to move forward again. And through the rest of the year, we will feel ourselves trying to do everything we can to get to this framework, to build this framework that gets us to the next level. Remember, we got a taste of it last spring of what the new world was going to look like. And the rest of the year is about building that structure to take it again, almost more permanently, I'll say. There's actually a bit of a dip back into Capricorn again next year with the next cycle. But for the most part, we're moving into the new world. And this is your chance to do everything you can with all the skills you've gained to get there in the way that you want to. On the 13th, the sun finishes that transit across from Chiron. So just notice what you're doing and see how you're being noticed, maybe in a different way. People look at you a little differently, like, wow, something's happened here. And interestingly, on the same day that you wrap that up, Mercury is starting to catch up to the sun. So it will be across from that Chiron portal. So how perfect, right? You get to now have these conversations. Maybe someone has been in connection with you and they're going to finally say something of, you've really shifted, or something's changed, or I didn't see you the way I expected to anymore. And for a few days, you'll be able to get that feedback. And that wraps up on the 16th. So 4 days or so. And at that point also, Venus completes being across from that Saturn portal. So, what a wonderful way to almost think about your boatmates giving you that feedback to say, wow, you've done all this work and it's changed you in a way that is going to help you do your work and makes me look at you differently. And we meet again on the 18th. Now, one thing I want to point out here is how closely together Mercury, Sun, and Mars are by the time 2 weeks have passed from now. And as you know, when Mercury crosses over the Sun, things get intense and it gets faster because Mercury's kind of, to us, feels like it's speeding up, and things will get to be a little more fast paced. But in addition, notice also that when things are grouped together, you're working on the same area of your life with 3 planets. You're being called to focus on this area of life. And all these 3 planets will be in Scorpio together in November. So just a little bit, actually, no, I take it back. October, I think it's the 23rd. So just like 5 days after we meet again, they will all be grouped up in Scorpio, and it will be across from Jupiter and Uranus. So that's where we're headed to, is a lot of intense work dealing with the feelings of people that we co-create with, giving us perspective on the growth we need and the shifts we need to make that we already got a preview of. So that is what's coming. And that is some of the intensity that is coming for us. So this is your heads up. Okay, let's take this back. And see how far apart they are here. Mars, Sun, Mercury, and you'll see them start to squish together, and that will be that intensity going on. Okay, here we go. Let's look again. And there we have it. Okay. So the rest of 2023 will be reminiscent of the work that you did during the first 3 months of 2023. And I know that feels so long ago, but this is a good time to use your one-to-one connections as a mirror to see how much you've grown over the summer. Remember, we've still got a few more days of Venus in Leo, giving us all that appreciation and instilling some confidence in that, in us. And we get to use that to help us keep going on our journey, to know that we have something to offer, that people do appreciate it, and we get to keep working on it. And it can be fun and a lot of work. So just knowing that those things come together all through us and will be happening through this year, the rest of this year, I hope prepares you a little bit for what is coming. So it's all with the goal in mind of getting ourselves to the next level, whatever that is for you, to take yourself to a place where you've never been before. You're breaking through barriers in terms of your tools and your resources. But Aquarius is about going beyond the status quo. You have had a certain way of being your entire life, and taking it to that next level will take you to a place you've never been before. And how exciting, especially when you are in the driver's seat and get to have agency over what that looks like. So just as a recap, Venus on October 7th will complete its portal. Just realized I lost my pink arrow. Okay. And from October 8th to the 13th, the sun is opposite Chiron. So what are you mindfully doing in your one-to-one connections that is making you recognize that people don't see you the way you thought, the way they used to? How have you changed? And from the 9th to the 16th, Venus is opposite that Saturn portal. It's a great time to check in or allow for feedback from the people in your boat who you guys are all trying to do something together, and to get that affirmation that you've done some great work, maybe provide the same thing to them on the work that they've done, and how that's going to help you be better teammates together in this boat, and potentially extend who can be in that boat with you. Then on the 10th, oops, that arrow is not supposed to be there. Pluto stations direct. This is kickoff, and the real work begins again. Similar to what we did for the first 3 months of the year, and you're just taking it broader and deeper because you can, because you grew, because you put out some effort over the summer to do something, and you're wiser. And then from the 13th to the 16th, just after the sun has finished moving across from the Chiron portal, Mercury will do the same thing. So a great time to have conversations, to notice where maybe you don't see someone the way you expected anymore, and offer that up, hopefully in a way they can receive, because this is all about matching someone else's energy and allowing that other person to give you that same feedback. So, tips to thrive. It's hard to think back to January to March, but if you can remember that intensity, the rest of the year is dedicated to taking that work deeper, broader, whatever it means to get to the next level. And it all begins October 10th. And how has that summer growth changed the way people see you or notice you? How has it paid off with your small community? These are things to explore over the next 2 weeks. And life will start to feel more intense. We got to see how Mercury, Mars, and the sun all started to condense together, and it's going to continue for another week beyond the 2 weeks until we meet again. And there's going to be this, I like to think of it as this delicate dance of commitment, discussion, and mindful action with those people we co-create with. And always being mindful of the other person's feelings and giving them the opportunity to be mindful of ours. So we'll talk more about that next time. Just know that that's coming, and you get to do all the prep work now so that it goes as well as it can. All right. I'm going to see if there are any questions, any comments. Does this feel like what's coming? I hope I haven't scared all of you.
It totally feels like what's going on. I feel I picked the obvious time for my trip. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Wonderful.
Yes. Have a safe trip, man. Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I will be just in the air when you have your next one, so think of me and I will think of you and have to catch up afterwards.
Yeah, the replay will always be there. Yeah, that's right.
I'll be
And then
taking off from Charles de Gaulle about an hour beforehand or something like that, I think.
Wow. Okay. Have a good croissant or something.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Lori, any thoughts, comments? Okay.
No, it seems about right. I mean, it seems about, it makes sense. It's gonna be intense, people. It's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But we get to be in the driver's seat because we're prepared now, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That changes everything. So,
Yes. Well,
and we're all
I
there for it.
appreciate you guys being here with me on this journey. I definitely feel like the co-creating with you helps me do this. So thank you so much. I'm always here to support you. Reach out if you need anything. And thanks for joining, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. I hope you feel prepared to move through these next 2 weeks. Be sure to use your relationships as a mirror to see how much you've changed since the summer. And people just don't see you the way they used to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.